At night, this entire space just kind of disappears and darkness takes over everything. But the truth is, it only takes the tiniest amount of light to completely change it. Today, I'm sharing some DIY lighting ideas that will transform your outdoor space. And maybe also a little reminder that light always wins. Okay, so for our first project, we are going to be doing a lantern transformation. Okay, so this lantern I got and did on like a previous episode last year, and it was huge. I think I found it at a thrift store for about $10, and then I did a little research and found that it retailed for close to $400. It's huge. It is the biggest lantern that I own, and I set it on the ground. And honestly, it just was a little underwhelming, and I always knew that it deserved more. And that's what we're gonna be doing today. This lantern is one of those pieces that I instantly loved, but it never really felt like it was living up to what it could be. So here's what the plan. I want to make it an even bigger statement than it already is. So what I did is I found kind of like a square planter pot at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. I got it for about $40, which is more than I spent on the lamp, but I think in the end, this is gonna be worth the extra investment. And then I had this old trash can that I had been using as a planter pot here on the patio, and I'm not using it as that anymore. And I picked it up at the Dollar Tree like a year ago. And so what I decided to, rather than fill this entire planter pot, making this really, really heavy, it's already gonna be heavy as it is, I flipped it upside down, and that gave us a basis. So now we don't need to fill the entire thing with soil, and we can just fill like this outer shell, if that makes sense. So then I filled it up, and then I set on the planter, and I realized that we could add even a little bit more soil to the top. And then I didn't want it to kind of rust out, not that it would, because it's not gonna really be getting wet. In fact, the soil is gonna eventually dry out a lot. But I wanted something really stable for it to sit on, so I took some cardboard and cut that out to fit underneath our lantern, just to keep it separated from the soil. Then I took a bunch of outdoor flowers that I got at Hobby Lobby last year, and they actually have some this year as well. These white flowers, they look, I think they're like supposed to be petunias. I'm not like the biggest gardener. I do know a lot of flower names, but I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to be a petunia. And they're faux, but they look really, really good. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm gonna kill things like, in fact, my little topiary out front, I'm gonna have to do something about because it's dead. Oh my goodness. That is one sorry looking topiary. It was once cute. I'm sorry. So I am not very good, and it's probably just because I'm so distracted and so busy that I just don't have the time to invest in making sure that there is the proper amount. I either overwater, underwater, it's never just the right amount, and it's just because I'm like just so busy. Anyways, this is why I use the faux flowers, and honestly, they've gotten so good that they are really, really nice, and I have no qualms about it. They've really improved over the years. So I took a mixture of some greenery and some of these petunias and just shoved them into the soil. I clipped off a couple of them so that I could disperse it the way I wanted to a little bit, but I had greenery kind of draping over the edge, and then I set our lantern on top of this, and then that was it. This was so easy. This was like such an easy project, but it has made all the difference. I don't know if you can see it here. That is amazing, is it not? And at night, it is absolutely stunning. It is so classy. It adds light to this corner where there was not really light before, and it's just, I love it. So sometimes it's not about changing something completely. Maybe it just needs to be placed where it can actually shine. Same piece, completely different presence. I love how this turned out, and I hope you do too. Okay, so if you watched this similar episode last year, I talked about some lantern planters, and our community lovingly created a name called the Planterns. So, well, I've got another plantern project for you, but this one is so easy. I just found these on Amazon, and I can't remember if I saw them like on Instagram first or something, but I honestly don't remember where I first saw them, but I went to Amazon, bought these. These are so easy to assemble. Basically just follow the instructions, kind of clip everything together. You might have to put in like a couple of simple screws, and that's it. then I just filled these with soil and some more of those same white flowers. That creates a consistency that you'll see kind of like around my house, is that there are similar flowers that I kind of dispersed all over the place, and that creates a cohesive look. So on my front porch, I put these and I kind of flanked the front part of my porch, and then I also had those other lantern, they're not quite a planter, but they might be considered a planter. Anyways, so once I filled that up with the flowers, it was beautiful. It's beautiful in the daylight, and it's even more beautiful in the nighttime because it really lights the way to my entry. Now, I have always loved lighting there in the entry, and there's something so inviting about it. They don't just light up everything, it's just enough to guide you to exactly where you need to go. And honestly, since it's a solar power thing, it doesn't increase my electricity bill, and my front entryway is still very, very well lit, and it's just beautiful and inviting, and it really draws the light to the entrance of my home. Okay, I do have porch lights, but I do not have them turned on, just to show you how much light gets put off by that and how inviting that is. And that's so much fun. Okay, so you know that I love doing mini lampposts, and I've done something similar to this in the past. In fact, I should probably put a compilation together of all the many different like lantern projects that I put together, because there are a lot.
I do not have a problem.
I just think that they're so fun, and I think they're fun outdoors. So when I walked into the thrift store and saw these lamps that were so ugly and so poorly painted, there was like paint drips down the side and everything, and you could see the brush marks in it, and I'm like, oh my word. But I could see the potential because the shape of them, I immediately thought this would be the most beautiful lamppost light. They were stunning. They had such a cute shape to them. They had like the fluted column look with like the acanthus leaves. I don't know what I'm even saying that right, but you know what I'm talking about. These screamed lampposts to me, but they didn't have a shade, and they just had a light bulb on the top. So I could have just put a lampshade and still put them outside, and that would have been cute. But come on, we gotta make a little mini lamppost. So here we go again. So the first thing I did is I started sanding down the rough paint job that was on there before. And because I didn't want the drip marks to show through, I tried to get them all. A couple of them you might be able to see a little bit here and there. I tried to get them all, but I may have missed a couple of them. Okay, hopefully we've got it all sanded off, all the drips and everything, that it will paint up a lot better this time around. So once I got that sanded and prepped and ready, I went ahead and spray painted it in a flat black spray paint. It really does need to be a flat black, in my opinion, to match the finish of the lamppost tops that we're gonna be adding in a minute. Now, this got a little bit trickier because I actually thought the top of the lamp was gonna be the right size to slide a traditional lamppost over, and it ended up being like a little bit too big, but I'll address that in just a second. Okay, so we are trying to make little mini lampposts, as you can tell. So I have these are hardwired, these are not solar powered. And honestly, this will be the most complicated project we do this episode, but it's more doable than you might actually think. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna start by disassembling this, and maybe I could have done this before I painted it, but I just didn't. So basically what we're gonna do is try to unscrew this top piece. So we're gonna pull this through. Now, I have to caveat that I am not an electrician, so I'm gonna be very careful. I'm gonna kind of show you how I did it, but you may want to consult an electrician and have somebody do this for you, because I can't be held responsible. But I did this myself. And we are going to take this and clip it off. Now, I have normal like electrical wire clippers, but for whatever reason I couldn't find them, so we're gonna just make do. I've got a little thing to separate the wires, okay? And then we've got to very carefully strip off the plastic. That's why my special electrical wire cutters are better. Basically, we're trying to strip that plastic coating on the top of these off. For the love of humanity. All right, I'm gonna go get my, I'm gonna go borrow some from my husband. Okay, I stole my husband's electrical wire things. So now we should be able to strip off Okay, so we've got exposed wires. Before I wire this, I am going to cap off the ground because since it's a lamp, there's not anything technically for me to ground it to in this situation. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take just a cap and cap that off. And then we're gonna carefully, I'll just set this on my shoulder, I guess, I don't know. And we know there's no power because the lamp is not plugged in. So definitely do not do this plugged in. And I'm not an electrician, so just go at your own caution. Now we don't have the capability of like an on-off switch, which will be a little tricky, but I've worked around that in the past. But we're gonna shove all of this wiring in here, and gosh darn it, it might not work. So we might need to check out some other options. So it's like, do we glue this? See, look how perfectly that's gonna look. The problem is right now it's not stable, so it just needs something to attach to. Okay, I'm gonna pause from this project because I've got to troubleshoot how to get this on securely. And I think it's gonna be like, I need to get like a little round disc that fits inside it, drill a hole so that it, and then like epoxy that into place or something. And then we can tighten that around it. So I'm just going around finding the right size. This bottom portion is the right size on this. I don't have anything in my house that's quite right yet. And so I'm gonna just put this aside for a second and then we'll fix it. Ended up using like a spray paint can topper. It ended up being a good size for what I was using. I drilled a hole in it, I epoxied it down, but I'm thinking it through again. I think I would use like liquid nails if I were to do it again. In fact, I did the second one with liquid nails and then I wired that on and then screwed it into place. Now, I don't know how this will hold up over time. We'll just have to see. So I may end up needing to do something more like a piece of wood down the road, but it turned out really good for now. Okay, this has been setting up for a minute here, so hopefully it is fully cured. And we are gonna test this out before we do the same method to the other one. Look at that, that totally worked.
Wow, it's so amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, then we need to put this on. Okay, so I've got a bunch of different light bulbs that we're gonna kind of test out. This is just like a regular one, and that's not very cute, so I might just set that down here. The other type is something you'd see more like in like a bathroom vanity. I like that okay, but I wanna see if this one, I don't even know if I have enough of it. This one is more of like a flame. So do we like that one? That's kind of cute. Do we like that? Or do we like the big round one? I think I'm gonna go with the little candle looking one. I think that that is kind of fun. So then we've got to put this on. I cannot believe that like little pink cap is gonna be the winner for us. And we've turned a thrifted lamp into a lamppost. There we go. The paint finishes matched up beautifully with the flat black. Now, the one thing is once you cut that off, there's no switch to turn it on and off. So the only way to turn these on is to like plug them in and plug them out. Or you can get like a little outlet that you can plug the cords into and they can be controlled by a remote control. So that is like what I would recommend. I've done this with a couple of different lights. So if you don't wanna like constantly be, I didn't have one out here, so I'm like manually plugging them in for right now, but you can literally just plug it into this device and then it has a remote control you can turn them on and off with, and that's probably what I'm gonna end up getting. Now, my end table situation out here is not like exactly what I want, but it kind of gives you an idea. It gives like an outdoor light that's fully protected. I don't have to worry about a lampshade catching the wind and blowing it over, and these are just so adorable. I love these, and I actually have one of the other lampposts next to it. You'll see in kind of the shots. I need to move things around, but you kind of get the idea. I really like lampposts. This is a common theme. So these were not cute when I found them, but the shape underneath was so beautiful. I saw the potential. Sometimes you just have to look past what something is to see what it could be. It didn't need to be replaced, just restored. So this next project is probably one of the easier ones from this episode, but I hope you think all of these are relatively doable from what you've seen. Okay, so for this next project, I went ahead and bought this at Hobby Lobby. Now, I will say, if you built this yourself, you would build it for like a tiny fraction of what this cost, even on the 40% off sale. I think even 40% off, this little getup was like $45. You could easily build that for probably a quarter to a third, like way cheaper. So especially if you have scrap wood pieces, which I do, but I wanted to make this super easy, so I went ahead and bit the bullet. It's very cute. I think that it's meant to like hang a purse on, hang a wreath, I'm not quite sure, but we are gonna use it to turn into like a little outdoor light fixture. So I had a couple of comments on my last episode that say I'm just going overboard on the black and the white. I personally like it. This is my house. So I am gonna be using black paint on this, but you could stain it, you could paint it white, you could paint it any color you want. This is just how I'm doing it for my house and how I think it looks good. But you do you, boo. So here we go. This little device right here is kind of handy. Keeps your hands a little cleaner. So here we go. I might have to break out the regular paint. We'll just see how this turns out. If I stop, it like stops working. Oh my gosh. I started by spray painting it, and honestly, I think the right thing to do is to use an actual paint. The spray paint did act as a good primer, but I think it was a much prettier finish and something that will hold up a little bit better by rolling on some paint that I had. And this gave it a little bit of a satin finish, and that was fine for this project. So the paint color is called Caviar Black. It's just a regular paint that I have. I'm just gonna use it, and I'm gonna dunk it right in the can, and it's gonna get all over the place, but we're outside here. I think it's gonna be fine. I'm not even gonna bother to fuss around with it too much. I'm just gonna go for it. And here we go. And it's okay if it's a little messy because we've got cardboard underneath it. Okay, just want to check for any weird runs or anything out of the ordinary. Okay, I think that's good. I left the hook on it because I think that it's a really good opportunity to maybe hang a flowering basket, or, you know, there's just so many, or another wreath. I did like a little tiny wreath in the end. You'll see that in just a second, but I left that hook on. But we need to add something to hang a light from, and that's what I did. Is I found a bracket was on sale at Hobby Lobby, so I think it originally was $10, 40% off. It was like $6 in the end. Took my drill, drilled it in. You could probably like do this with a little elbow grease. It's like a softer wood. You might be able to do it by hand, but I highly recommend my drill. It's amazing. It might be a little overkill for this project, but I use it for like everything. It's just amazing. I love my drill. If you haven't checked that out before, you've got to check it out. It's so much fun. It's beautiful. Anyways, I always feel weird plugging my own products, but I shouldn't. I'm very proud of this drill, and it's a very good drill, and I love it. Okay, there you go. So I drilled in that hook, and that's it. And then I got a Dollar Tree solar powered lantern. It is battery operated. I'm not quite sure how that works. Solar powered and battery operated. I don't know. But I got it from the Dollar Tree last year, I think for $5, and it's just been sitting in my stash and I hung it on. Very simple. This was a very simple, like less than an hour project. Super fun to put together, super easy. You could get a couple of these, flank these. Like I only did one, but you could it would be really cool to put it on like either side of my back patio here and flank it. It like just so many options, and it's just really, really cute, simple project to do. But even though it was a simple project, I still love it just as much. It's not a huge amount of light at night, but look at the difference it makes. And honestly, you could get a brighter light too, but a little bit of light goes a long way. And that is a theme that I'm gonna try to get through to you today. Okay, so this is a super easy one. All you're gonna have to do is buy this off of Amazon and assemble it, and it's adorable. If you want like a really fast, instantaneous, yet cute lamppost in your yard, if you wanna see, like, I'm gonna link like a beefier lamppost project that I did last year that's absolutely amazing. It's a little bit more work, but it's still totally a doable project. But if you want one that's like gonna take you no time at all, get this lamppost because it is super darling and it lights up beautifully at night. So all you have to do, just follow the instructions. It's basically like screwing everything together, attaching 3 lamps at the top, and that's it. You could mount it to wood if you wanted to. It would easily do that, but it comes with like these little stakes that you can stake down into the ground. Now, don't judge my garden. I don't spend a lot of time out in the garden, as I have mentioned before, but so you'll just have to imagine beautiful flowers around it.
Really beautiful.
But this lamppost is super darling, super cute. You put it together and have it done in under 10 minutes. This is seriously so adorable. It's such an easy way to get a beautiful look with hardly any effort. And then it just adds a little bit of beautiful, classy light to your yard. Say something really quick before we go. The world has felt a little heavy lately. I think you feel it. I feel it. There's a lot of darkness trying to take up a lot of space right now. But here's the thing that I keep coming back to. Darkness doesn't actually have any power of its own. It only exists where light hasn't shown up yet. And light doesn't need permission. It doesn't wait for things to be perfect. It just shows up and it changes everything around it. Wherever you're at right now, you were made to shine. And the moment you do, even in the smallest way, everything around you changes because light always wins. If something in this video spoke to you today, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. And if you want to be here every week for more projects, more transformations, and occasionally a moment like this, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this episode, I know you're gonna love this one too. And in the meantime, I just want to remind you that you are powerful. We'll see you next time. Bye.